Hi everyone, Donna Log Cabin Stitcher here, and I want to show you what is in this project bag right here. I got this pretty little tote bag in Chicago, but this is what I keep in this bag. These are 5-inch squares, and then just recently I started making 6-inch squares. And I make these for charity. So I am going to show you what charities these go to. In my bag, let me move these. In my tote bag, I keep this little pouch. And in my pouch, I keep my crochet hook and my little pair of scissors. And I keep a yarn needle in there. And then in the tote bag itself, I keep a ruler in there. This is a really old ruler, but it works. That way I know what size square I'm making, or how big the square ends up to be. So anyway, let me move my squares. Okay, so I have my computer here. Hopefully this will show up, I'm hoping. Okay, so my 5-inch squares are going to go to this place called, you can look it up, projectamigo.org. And the squares will eventually end up in Mexico, but you send them to a guy. I'll show you his address in a minute. He is constantly updating this down here. It says March 1st, 2019. They've completed 538 Afghans. So here is the flyer. Tells a little bit about what they're used for. It's for students that go to the school in Mexico. And here's the directions. These are knit directions, but you can use crochet and you can use any type of square that you like, and it says any color. They prefer 5x5 or 6x6. And then here, see if I can zoom in a little bit. Here is where you send the squares to this guy in Connecticut. And then he puts them, his wife puts them together, color coordinates them, and then they ship them to Mexico. And then they pay these ladies down there to put the squares together. And then, like I said, the blankets go to the kids. So that is where the 5-inch squares are going. The 6-inch squares, if you get on Ravelry and you go to groups and you type in the search field Pine Ridge, it brings up 4 groups. Now this first one is no longer active, but this one down here, Afghan Squares, that is where I'm going to send my squares. And here is a little bit about it. Pine Ridge Reservation is the poorest spot in the USA, and this tells you, let me zoom in a little bit on this. Okay, so this tells you a little bit about the squares. You can knit or crochet. You can use any color except black or white. Use any pattern. It says the less holes the better. Use any fiber, no wool, and it has to be washer and dryer safe. The good thing about this is you don't have to weave in your ends, so you just leave a tail, and they will do all that for you. All sizes are welcome, but they prefer 6-inch or 12-inch. And then it gives you a little more information, and then right here is where you mail the squares. And then down here in the thread, it gives you pictures of the blankets, which I'll show you real quick, see if I can find some. So this is the blankets that she puts together. Those are pretty. And I love this one. Let's see if I can find it. This one right here. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, there's a lady that sews all the squares together. Went back too far. And then right here, this thread right here, if you click on it, and at the very top, there's a spreadsheet out here, and it says like who shipped how many squares. And here's March. Of course, it's just getting started because this is March 2019. And then they have, let me see if I here. Every month they have a prize giveaway. So if you donate some squares, they pick a name and you can win a prize. And this was February's prize. It's a little bag and some yarn and a pattern. Looks like stitch markers, highlighter, scissors. Just a nice little prize that they give away. So that is where my 6-inch squares are going to go. And then they also have the same group, this Pine Ridge Reservation. There's 2 other groups. It's called Bundles of Joy, and that's for the little babies out there. I think this is, I want to say South Dakota, but they take, for the little babies, they want hats, socks, mittens, blankets, sweaters, bibs, all kinds of things. And again, they have threads down here, and they'll have a Excel spreadsheet on there that tells you what they need and what people have sent. And then the other one is for the children of Pine Ridge. And they need lots of things too, up here at the top. Hats, mittens, gloves, scarves, neck warmers, just all kinds of stuff. They do have a little bit of restrictions here though. They don't want white because it's hard to keep clean. No red or blue. No owl motifs. And then they have different programs going on. And you click on these and they've got even more things. Like I think the veterans one, they collect like hats for the older men and women. But all kinds of things going on for them. And again, they have a Excel spreadsheet. Once you click on one of these and then you go to the very top and it'll show you what's needed and what's been sent. Let's see. So those are for the 6-inch squares and 5-inch squares that I made. The next thing I found, this guy here, his name is Rugby Jim. And what he does, he retired and he needed a hobby. It's a really great story. You need to read it sometime. But he needed a hobby, so he decided to crochet rugs. And I think he crochets them with fabric. but then he donates all the money to Doctors Without Borders or Operation Smile. And his rugs for sale. He's always posting new ones on here, and these look like they're 24 inch across. I don't know if they're all that size, but he sells them for $25 and then $10 for shipping. Like I said, the whole $25 goes to charity, and it goes to the Doctors Without Borders, which is they provide medical aid wherever it is needed. And the other one is Operation Smile, and that's for the little children that are born with a cleft lip or cleft palate. So check him out sometime, Rugby Jim. And most of my things that I make go to the Harvest of Talents at our church, and I will do a video on that sometime. All the money raised goes to fight world hunger. So, but my plan is for the squares, my plan is whenever I sit down to crochet something, depending on how much time I have, maybe not every time, but to crochet a square before I start on my project. It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes to crochet a square, so I hope to get lots more made and sent to one of these groups. I know there's a lot of charities out there, and I know a lot of you already do charity work. If you have a charity, you know, put a message below in the comments or let me know, because I'd kind of like to do more videos of all the charities that are out there. Or not all, but you know, some of them. All right, I think that's all I have. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back soon.